G'day, welcome back. Up until now, we've only been working with files and documents and so on our own computers, which means we can't actually share the output of what we create with anybody else. And you'll see some funny memes around this online. Maybe by now you've asked Brain to create some stuff, and it will open this thing on this thing called localhost, usually port 3000. So I'll say localhost :3000. And you'll see some funny memes around this because people will say, hey, look what I just built. And the link they will share is localhost 3000, which only works on your machine. If you want it to work anywhere else, if you want to share what you've built, you need to deploy that thing, website, whatever it is, online and share a URL with people. Localhost ain't going to cut it. So we're talking about getting stuff out of your brain, out of your local computer so that you can share this. So that might be a website, a dashboard, client portal. So my dashboard that I run every day in the brain as part of my GM command runs locally. It's just sitting here on one of my screens. I don't need anybody else to be able to see it. But if I want to build a client portal and have somebody else view that, I'm going to need to deploy this and then give somebody a URL so that they can go to the website and see it. You can probably see right up in the top corner here, my slides are running on my local computer because the brain is controlling the slides. It's running them locally, and this right now is running on localhost. So client dashboards, landing page audits. If you're just doing it for you, great. Or if you want to send a PDF, great. We can open up that audit. Usually HTML first is the magic trick. That's what allows the brain to create amazing designs. And then we go from HTML to PDF. But if you want to turn that into a website, a little mini website, could be interactive, could be like a slide presentation, then you need to deploy it. So you build it locally. However that is, let's just call it HTML for now, right? It's just a basic website, essentially. We're going to push the code to GitHub. So if I am creating this to share with someone, I will usually create a new repo. It can still be a private repo or repository on GitHub, so nobody else gets to see the code. So the repo is still private. Then I go over to a hosting platform. I'm going to give you two options in the next two videos. And that pulls the code from GitHub, basically creates a copy of that code to store it on the hosting platform, and then they look after the hosting of that and give you a URL. So it'll look something like that, yourapp.replit.app. Replit will cover in the next video, and then Vercel in the video after that. Very, very similar sort of thing, yourapp.vercel.app. And then anybody that has that particular URL can then access your website. And you can put an optional password over the top of that, because obviously if you've built a client portal and it's got live data in there, you don't want anybody that happens to stumble across that URL to be able to get in. So we build it all in the brain. We test it locally. I will often say to the brain, okay, open that locally, or run the development server so I can see that in localhost. Phrases like that. You don't need to know those phrases, but that's just a good shortcut rather than saying to the brain, I don't know how to see this and I can't see what you're doing, and is there a way that you can get that to open on my browser? If you just say open that on localhost, that's the shortcut that will get you there. Okay, so we'll cover Replit, which I've been using for, I don't know, 2-3 years. A lot of these other platforms didn't exist back then. Vercel has been around a long time. I stumbled into Replit early. I've been grandfathered in on a $10 a month plan, which I think might be now $25. They've both got pretty decent free tiers. For basic stuff, I recommend Vercel. If you're sort of pushing the envelope a little bit more, you need a database or something which is beyond the scope of these few videos, but we can talk about that in the members portal. Then I go with Replit. So they're both very good. They're both free to start. They're both very easy to hook up. So in the next video, we'll jump into Replit, and then after that, Vercel. I'll see you there.